once again, Rinpoche explained emptiness in a very simple fashion as being dependent origination. What are things empty of? They are empty of intrinsic existence. What are they void of? They are void of intrinsic existence. So when these words are used, they merely mean that because things have parts, because things are a collection that comes together and serves as a basis for designation, they are empty. They are not singular. They do not have intrinsic nature. They are interdependent. If we are to summarize Lord Buddha's teachings, we can summarize them into three categories. So if we take the entire Kangjur, the pronouncements of Lord Buddha, and the Tanjur, the authentic Indian commentaries, and were to try to summarize them, we would be able to into three categories. And that's what we find in the great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment. It's actually a commentary on Lord Atisha's work, which is called The Lamp for the Path to Enlightenment, which is a text that broke the teachings down into those three categories in a way that a practitioner from the beginning stages till the end could understand how to progress along the path. So Atisha wrote a poem in a very short form, and then Lama Tsongkhapa wrote various sized texts, this being the largest, to explain that poem that Atisha wrote and the intended meaning of the teachings for beings of three capacities. So this is how you divide the teachings into three categories. They're called the teachings for beings of three capacities. First category of teachings are for beings who wish to achieve higher realm rebirth. This practitioner engages in going for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, engages in ethical behavior that abandons the 10 non-virtues. Dependence on those practices, he or she achieves higher realm rebirth. The next category, the teachings shared in common with beings of medium capacity, are teachings for beings who wish to achieve their own individual liberation or nirvana. These practices are the three highest higher trainings, the highest higher training in ethics, concentration, and wisdom, and in dependence upon those three highest higher trainings, he or she is able to achieve his or her own individual nirvana. The next category of teachings are called the teachings for beings of great capacity. These are teachings that lead to Buddhahood, and these teachings are the practices already mentioned, coupled with generation of bodhicitta, the mind that aspires to enlightenment, and then the practice of the six perfections. And in dependence upon those practices and teachings, he or she achieves Buddhahood. So this is how one can divide all of Lord Buddha's teachings into three categories. Digsung Rinpoche.
Zumba de kunzu demba maino she sumba ne tanye bitsime zumba tuba la shayi tanye do zumba yimba zang la shamurungo dehdara oma be tanye do rangi lula kundeje naja tangche mabushi joba na ngabu mawa na je rangi doba tumo mayimbe tabi dunam tanye do yoba yu su dada shinto kayi dema nije naba jaba shinji maluba toba sitar tango dada ngomayi deba na kundu do yoba ngoba na ribi jeba shine ga gwe la rangi kundu do chengala suba yoba kelamba la ne todenji kelamba kelen mele ruyi yemela yela teya rebe jesu drambala tosu nyane rebe cheba na rangi kelambe kundu ba na da ngabo ma na je kuntabe ni rebe ne na nya da mene nya do sone on shu da zo la so ba tanye do me ba de na zu da la so ba me ba kelam go ba na da tanye yue na on shu la so ba yo ba kelam go ba ni 총바 통대 최강랑하게 로제 내다 내메지 뭐좀 켈레제야 샤머로라 오마베 ተኮና니 네베르루시 세다이고 하트다 제수드베 제야 문제바 요발라 타와 나바다바 나바다비드 공바 너바신도 뭐나오 된다유 된다완다네 개방고하시비 나도 뭐나데 하시바 따르랑게 가정뭐 마세바 라진 고비 레베 타녜비 참아 나자 타제 집어시비 야다비 따와다 로바 따와나 너네 너냐다 마너냐도 손유 신지 로게 따와 쳔보 임비시로 대나 데나와라 렌도 공장 야다비 따와라 종세 상야 녀도 먼저와 마제 렌도 너데 콘데지 땡데지 나바자바 타지 라기 로라 머로 땡중기 란다 체신도 그와 예미셔로 대셔 오마바라 오마주발레 메시니지랑 좀 메디진 나지다니 지진 따바다 좀만 해주소라 따바가 다다 예된 레인 외민이 제 메디비 너버트모 많이 받아 하자바다르한데 뭐보마 나지 너버트모 많이 배 따바나 라게 고도도 야 매도 시송비 전시바샤오 들라 타녀도 여바 너바다 매번더번 저와시 그 고네 요바 인하나 타녀비 셰발라 잡아 임바다 제대 잡이 되더라 타녀비 서마진지 면어바다 ተኮናኝላ 자진 외메 최진도 제비 제비나바 마보바시 타녀도 여바 돌아다 레 도바네 매번도도 달라 타녀비 셰바네 최강라야 제다 나와다 지제수 요바 상예제 나와 하유든 로라 제다 나와서 상예제 외대 된지 주대 줘봐 된지 줘봐 다 인나냐도 맞어봐 셰발라 마다반 줘봐 나서 되니라 맞제비 셰바 셰샤이 따바이 맞제바 메노 근데 지대 비타냐비 세메 셰발라 제다 나와시 잡았다라 요기 일로 제다 죄네 줘봐 메비셔 지대 제 잡아 셰샤와 예메 근데 셰바
Chishin nge inji kelo.
Oya. Oya chika leju na.
Yine the chiran kabakaso. The chiran zugu.
Troja.
Yine the zugu. Nge the shugo hakogudu the zugu. Toga. Nge saba toga. Dape yime. Okay, toga. Deni lama. Okay. 628. Just establishing where we're gonna stop and start. Okay. Chapter 14, which isn't a chapter in the Tibetan. Conventional existence. In this way, we Madhyamikas posit conventionally within our own system many presentations of cyclic existence and nirvana. We also refute the conventional existence of constructs that are put forward as unique assertions by essentialists. As this is extremely difficult, accurate knowledge of the presentation of the two truths scarcely exists. Misunderstanding may arise as follows. When we refute the conventional existence of the constructs that the essentialists assert, we must carry out the refutation using rational analysis. Moreover, in talking that our own stance on matters such as the existence of conventional production and cessation, reflective individuals will decide what to assert according to what can be proven, and proof is based in a sequence of reasoning. Taking this into consideration, some feel that under rational analysis, the proposed conventions of production, etc., and the imaginary constructs of essentialists have the same status as either contradicted or not contradicted by reason. Thus, if they deny the conventional existence of constructs such as divine if they deny the conventional existence of constructs such as a divine creator or a primal essence, then they must also deny the conventional existence of forms and such. If they hold that forms do exist conventionally, then they would also have to accept the existence of a divine creator. They see those two as equivalent. They say it is inappropriate for their own system to identify or to assert any phenomena. This is such and such. This is not such and such. They presume that in this they have found the Madhyamaka reality. Further, in accordance with such understanding, they hold that stabilizing your mind without apprehending anything at all is cultivation of the genuine Madhyamaka view. There are a great many who assert this. So here again, speaking of the Hashan view, where just empty your mind, not have a thought, no conceptual thought. Now that's emptiness, to empty your mind. It is evident that such talk does not please the learned, for having failed to identify the objects negated by reason as explained above, those who say this use the arguments that refute intrinsic existence to destroy all presentations of conventionalities. Consequently, theirs is a highly inaccurate position. It treats the correct view and the wrong view as the same in degree to which they are mistaken or non-mistaken. As a result, prolonged habituation to such a view does not bring you the least bit closer to the correct view. In fact, it stands you farther away from it, for such a view stands in stark contradiction to the path of dependent arising, the path in which all the teachings on the dependent arisings of cyclic existence and nirvana are tenable within our own system. Therefore, Chandrakirti's commentary on the Middle Way says, the self is as it is imagined by the non-Buddhist philosophers who are disturbed by the sleep of ignorance, and things that are ascribed to mirages, magicians, illusions, and so forth do not exist even for the world. He says that what is imagined in the unique assertions of non-Buddhist philosophers, or according to the earlier citation, in the unique assertions of Buddhist essentialists, does not exist even conventionally in our own Madhyamaka system. I will explain this point. How does one determine whether something exists conventionally? We hold that something exists conventionally, 1, if it is known to a conventional consciousness, and 2, if no other conventional valid cognition contradicts it being as it is thus known, and 3, if reason that accurately analyzes reality, that is, analyzes whether something intrinsically exists, does not contradict it. We hold that what fails to meet these criteria does not exist. In a sense, conventional consciousness operates in a non-inquisitive manner. It operates only within the context of how a given phenomena appears to it. without analyzing, is this how the object actually exists, or does it just appear this way to my mind? It is called non-analytical consciousness, but it is not the case that it is utterly unquisitive. It operates within the context of how things are known to a worldly or conventional consciousness. It does not operate via this kind of... Therefore, it does not operate via analysis of how things actually exist. Therefore, it is called mundane knowledge. This kind of consciousness occurs in all persons, whether or not they have become involved in philosophical tenet systems. Thus, no matter whose mind stream it occurs in, this is called mundane knowledge or non-analytical consciousness. It is called, let me just reread this. It is called non-analytical consciousness, but it is not the case that it is utterly non-inquisitive. It operates within the context of how things appear, how they are known to a worldly conventional consciousness. It does not operate via analysis of how things actually exist. Therefore, it is called mundane knowledge. Okay, this kind of consciousness occurs in all persons, whether or not they have become involved in philosophical tenet systems. Thus, no matter whose mind stream it occurs in, this is called mundane knowledge or non-analytical consciousness. Geshe Rinpoche.
다들 대마지 레도 뭐 군주 대마도 대마 군주 대마서나 내가 아주 조로 소바도 소가로 군주 대마로 그래 군주 대마 저도 대마서나 저도 대마 돈일로 그래 돈일도 대마 다들 그나 나답을 찾아봐 있나 소소 포멍가 소발로 뜨는 조조 알아서 소멍가 포멍가 소발로 맞대봐 랑아드로 말어 랑아드로 매바들라 또 대발라 그래. 나 그런 것도 대발라 그래. 대나 쇼근 거지 버려.
Okay. So now we're speaking of the conventional and truths and ultimate truths. Conventional truths are forms and so forth, the things that we just normally just observe, the conventional things, cars, forms, color, shapes, people, conventional. Ultimate refers to emptiness, and what emptiness refers to is the reality of objects. The reality of objects is that they are empty. What are they empty of? Empty of having some independent self. So for instance, an object is merely, Rinpoche used the I. So when we look at I, or the self, the I is merely a collection of things that come together, of aggregates, the 5 aggregates and so forth, that come together and become a collection of things. And then this collection of things serves as a basis of an appropriate basis of designation for a name, and then it is named as this or that. But without that collection coming together, there is no I that can be found. So it's merely designated almost like on top of, or designated to that collection. So this is that lack of intrinsic nature, or that lack of true self, is the object's emptiness. So that is its ultimate truth. So when we speak of ultimate truth as emptiness, that means that objects are ultimately empty of intrinsic nature. So that's what emptiness refers to in this context. It doesn't mean that it's empty, it's not there, it's void. That word is used a lot, but all it ever means is it's void of something. It's void of intrinsic nature. It's void of not requiring interdependence. And just as a translator's note, Rinpoche does the exercise where you say, is this the eye? Is my hand the eye? Is my finger the eye? Is my chest the eye? Are my legs the eye? And then when you start to disintegrate, take all of these things away, you say, oh, then there must be no I. but there's someone talking. There's someone sitting here that has all of these parts. So what is there here? There is a collection that comes together and then is appropriate to be named Jeff and appropriately to be named I. But there's no singular Jeff, no soul that's separate out there that's findable without this comings together of a collection of some sort. And then we always, as a joke when we debate, how many things can you chop off before people don't know Jeff's there, you know? Like, so, so anyway, that is what we speak of when we speak of conventional forms and just everyday things that exist. They exist, but they have no intrinsic existence, conventionally or ultimately, according to the final view. Digsong Rinpoche. I don't know where we are.
Dene jine be tanya be shibala jita nashin trabata jogi yilu jitar yin jine juba mebi shiro jine je trabashi shawang yin be dene shibane chute lo maju wala chute jo maju tanje la wanyu dene shigi ju la nada shiki jula jujang jiden be trabe trabang mata be sheba sheshayi chute lo maju jiden ba kuni jula yoba mazungo chute lo juwa la chetar tanye do trabatar ram tarang wende tekona nido tētērnē sāngā shī chūbē lō mābō yō chāng tē yī shēbā tāngchē yīn chū jitār yīn chūbā shēbā kālā yīn gu tē nā jīnē jī chābā jitār yīn nā nē jīnē jī gēmbō chūtā tāng chāwā khunā lā rāwā mā yīn chē gu shigu ki ju ji ma jebi lu ju zu la cheta ju tebe chuba yino sheba tala chaba ne thawang nyo yu tani dubi ji juba na so lenre dan sala soba lenre dan salang la soba ane pepa na jang, maraba na je, tueba dang, nyuwa la subi yudo sheba, shebi, tse, yesu la, chetara yin me jubi, sheba ranga wala, thawang yin be, gine je traba yin be, shirkyun me do, tanya be tsema, yin je neba ne, pe na, 타발라 드르로 냐바다 펜줄라 초냐도 zemba 일로라 제다 인줘바 매베 르 zonwa 이메장 대존유 된라 타녀비 세메 네베 대다 타녀도 매바 인노 대진 유메 최진도 주비 제비 너바 뭐보 타녀도 주비 전남 타녀비 세메 조거장 라유메 최진도 주비 제비 세번에 나바 타제도 면네바 네바 거제 제비 너바 조나네 라게고 유바 조바 임베 타녀비 된이바 개와 이노 디시를 리시지 면에 받아 대조반이 지도 손에 타녀도 그딜라 소바 드도 좋아다 원쇼라 소바 소레 드도 좋아니 이나 이녀다 mina to zimbi lutuki ne mede wanshu to so tu dudu jeba na gemegi dudu jeba ni raji me tsujin to jebe rebe manruba tsonja rebe ne mene naba tanje to mtsombi sher tela raji ji deba ngobo mawa na ji deba tumo mayime kuntabe zuni chame dan da dan tu dan onjo la soba na ne tadagi nabara joba na tenda yi raga ngoyo joba yime rebe che ne tena de dar chobi rebe tada nyeba san ne yaba yimbe tada tala rangin yeme chobi rebe jeba yenji sheba kelan goba yinde tenti rebe chezo to debi shiro tedar jeba na riba chama mebe taba 크루저바 만요유 dada rebe maje bana keba njode dada yue na riba dada ki nye gwebe shiro zudra la soba na ne tanya bi shiba shanang ki chu yu neba meba na la tetar chaba tetar jaba tetar jaba tang yi je dada la che dada tanya zang ma yuan de tuan jing yin zu la dada zhuba nyang do che ne dada zhuba de raga ngoyo zhubi rang xin nye bi lo zu xe ne ke lang ba mi be dada la rang xin yu me ribe che ba sha me de dada rebe chezo do mende bishiro pana de luyin she pawana de tamayin she lambo mayin she chedo muronwa dan rawa yino
Jishe yabudu. Yeah. Jikden gutsu. Okay. Kale. Tuche.
Yeah.
So we are. Dun, 6:30. One known to the world. Okay, that's where we stop. Do not suppose that it exists only in the mind streams of those worldly persons who are not involved in philosophical tenet systems. Those who are involved in such systems may often have minds that analyze, is conventional knowledge accurate? Or does the object exist this way in reality? Still, how could all their consciousnesses analyze how things actually exist? Therefore, if you want to understand what worldly knowledge is, you cannot ask only those worldly elders who hold no philosophical tenets. However, it is sufficient to consider how non-analytical minds operate in the mind streams of the two parties in a debate. What these consciousnesses know is the perceptual or experimental basis for the construction of conventional language. Ordinary people do not understand karma and its effects, the levels and paths, or such matters, but they hear about and experience them, thereby taking them as objects. As this is so, they appear even to ordinary consciousnesses that are not analyzing how things actually exist. But we thus avoid the fallacy that these would not be things that the world knows. Other conventional valid cognitions do not contradict that which exists conventionally. For example, a consciousness that does not analyze how things actually exist may think that a rope is a snake or the mirage is water. However, conventional valid cognition does contradict the objects apprehended by consciousness. So those objects do not exist even conventionally. A reasoning consciousness that accurately analyzes whether something intrinsically exists does not contradict that which exists conventionally. What is posited conventionally must be established by a conventional valid cognition. In addition, reasoning consciousnesses that accurately analyze whether it intrinsically exists definitely must not contradict it in any way. Whatever such reasoning establishes as existing must exist conventionally, so it is contradictory for such to be a conventional object. Because of this, it is wrong to confuse 1, not being contradicted by a reasoning consciousness, and 2, not being a reasoning consciousness. Such confusion is the basis for the misconceptions that the following 2 propositions stand equally both true or both false. Pleasure and pain arise conventionally from virtue and non-virtue. Pleasure and pain arise from a divine creator and a primal essence. This misconception is incorrect. The 2 propositions are equivalent to the extent that a line of reasoning that accurately analyzes whether things intrinsically exist will establish neither, but the 2 are alike in all respects. One is contradicted by reasoning, the other is not. A partless object and subject, a self, a primal essence, a divine creator, such things are imaginary constructs put forth in the unique assertions of Buddhist and non-Buddhist conventionalities. When they posit such, they do not, after rational analysis of such, when they posit such, they do so after rational analysis of whether such things essentially exist. They think that this sort of rational analysis will discover these things. Thus, because they assert that these things can withstand rational analysis, they have to accept that outsiders outside of their schools can perform such rational analysis in order to discover whether those things intrinsically exist. When analyzed in this way, such things cannot withstand the pressure of inquiry by impeccable reasoning. Thus, when reason does not find them, they stand refuted, for if they did exist, such reasoning would have to find them. We posit forms and such only as they are known to conventional consciousnesses, that are not impaired by internal or external causes of error. We do not assert them as part of a system in which an analysis of whether they are mere conventions or instead have objective existence will find that they are essentially or intrinsically existent. Thus, rational analysis of whether they intrinsically exist is irrelevant, because we do not assert that these objects can withstand rational analysis. For example, if someone claims this is a sheep, it is appropriate to analyze this claim by asking, is it a horse or an elephant? It is inappropriate to analyze the claim by asking, is it a horse or an elephant? This is similar. There are things that have been known to the world from beginningless time. I think that's where we stopped. Khensur Rinpoche Jik Den.
다 르다 나기 쉐바 냥바 진리 종송래 쉐바 냥바 치와 되게 냐완을제야 링게 이달제야 총고 돈을제야 쉐바 삼보 진리 종송래 치와 되게 레불할제야
네.
되네 링게 라마인을제야 총고 멀제야 어디네 바데.
So when we analyze how experiences occur karmically, we see that there are degrees of karma or action that we engage in, and those actions are either positive or negative. If they are the greatest degree of negativity, if our actions are the greatest negative or the greatest degree of negativity, it give rise to the most negative existence, which is the hell realm. If they are a medium degree of negativity, then they give rise to a medium level in the lower realms of cyclic existence, which is the hungry ghost. And if they are a small degree of negativity or non-virtue, then they give rise to the animal realm. And then also it's true, the opposite is true for virtue or positive deeds. If they're the greatest degree of positivity or greatest degree, I'm using the word positive for virtue because Rinpoche is using an alternative word in there than virtue, but it means virtue, but he's using an alternative word, so I'm using an alternative word. So if the greatest degree of positivity or greatest degree of virtue gives rise to the gods realms, the medium degree to the demigods, and the small degree to the human realms. So this is how experiences are dependent upon the degrees of their concordant actions. Yeah, the degrees of their concordant causes, which are actions. That's it. Degrees of concordant causes, which are actions. Digsung Rinpoche.
Jidena Toma Meba Ne, Trabi, Yin, Ribi, Nebi, Nena, Tanye Don, Meba Ne, Maribi, Ngobo Nala, Rangi, Ngo Tuba, Drutaba Na, Jide, Rangi Ngu, Tuba Ngadan Ngaye, Ngayewa Zemba, Kazangi, Kazantiringi, Riyimba, Zemba Suji, Suji Yuna, Yimbe, Jidena, Kan Traba Tanji, Umabi Kundudu, Doba Mino. Kaji, Zudala Subadan, Mediji, Taba Nam, Tanyedo, Yume Musumba, Jusendo, Hamajide, Tanjila, Trabatan, Shema Trudama, Konala Trabi Shiroshi, Pawane, Nabra Sheba, Mashiba Yide, Jen Dona Tanyedo, Zudasu, Jumala Suba, Tabo Yimba, Me Gula, Ranking Udruba, Yoguba, Joa Sumala, Reba Drujubin, Reba Lejan, Teyan, Shinji Lune, Dwala Suba Yin, Yedun Deba, Kanyimba Te, Kundu Tuyan, Dani Ter, Ngobunabar, Meneba Yimbi, Yimba Nijishir, Shinji Maluba, Dunghewala Suba Nido, Zimbate, Ngobuna Kunduto, Dani, Terry Yoba, Ni Yimbishiro, Yimbishir, She, Tazu Shebo, Jidela, Tumutu Trajan, Tenzeba Kunduto, Shinji Lutu Shela, Matabala Suba, Jebo, Jiden Kun Taba, Jiden Kun La Madra Chan, Tenzeba, Shinji, Maluba Sonso, Teetara, Pumbu Matabala Suba, Susu Matabala Susu Zimba, Zimbi Tuba Ne, Nayola Truyan, Ngebi, Zidanla, Tsema Neba Mebi, Shinji Maluba, Matruba Sheshala, and the Obi Sheba Nane, Nayola Trishin, Matri Chat Kaya Mebi, and Matrua, She Majawu, Onshina, Nayola Truba, Dryan, Jiden Bi Moro, Tawata, Jesu Timbi Tuyume, Taha, Mebi Gune, Yoda Mebi Gune, Zunya La Subi, Tayu Onshi, La Subu Lubi Kundu Yinla, Telejen Bi, Onshi, Nemenane Kundu To, Yada Kundu Yino, Pombo Taba La Suba, Zimbi, ne Tubi Zidanji, Yune Tanya Do, Meba, Goba Nujan, Matabala Suba, Zimbi Yune, Tanya Do Yebe Zebi, Ga Menuso, Tandem Deba Shetan, Dejimata Judu Ledua, Duganda Bakunju Deba Godela de. Taba Jeba Shigi, Naba Jeba Shigi, na Dejimata Judu, what was the Ledua?
So now we're beginning to get into a section that explains or or not explains, but where we find the Four Noble Truths being introduced. The truth of suffering, the truth of origin, the truth of path, truth of cessation and the truth of path. And then in a more extensive way, if we were to look at that subject matter, we would look at it in terms of the Four of Four, the 16 attributes of the Four Noble Truths. So each of the Four Noble Truths having 4 specific attributes. So the cursory glance is at the just outer 4 as the sentence of this is the truth of suffering, this is the truth of origin, this is the truth of cessation, this is the truth of path. But then there are the various ways that the Buddha presented them, as well as the attributes that each among them have. Diksong Rinpoche. Chukabiyare.
Jidena.
Yamare Chanitsar.
Jidena.
Okay.
Jidena Toma Mebane.
Yeah, just go. I just did that. That's Tsar Rinpoche. They churn the lepson. The churn the lepson. They jikten they kanga losong Rinpoche. They losar. They jikten na. The churn the losong. The detsku. Ngeda. Detsku. Things known to the world.
Kaji Zodala Sobata Madiji. Tabanam Tanyedo. Yume Muzumbi Jusendo. Shene Jine Batangela. Trabadan. Shema. Trotama Konala. Trabi Shero Shemawane. Naba Masheba Yente. Jentona Tanyedo. Zoda Sujuma Tabo. Me Gube. Ranking Droba. In Guba. Joasu Mala. Reba Dojubi Reba Lejan. Teyan. Shinji Luki Demba La Suba. Ni Naba Nido Zimba Kanyba Te. Kundu Teyan. Dani Ngobo. Rimba. Meneba Ni Imbi Shiro. Niji Shiro. Shinji Malubi. Dungela Suba Nido. Zimba Te. Ngobo Kundu To. Kundu To Dani Teri Yoba. Ni Imbi Shiro Shi. Tasu Jibo. Jidela Tumoto. Trajan. Tenzin Kundu To. Shinjulu To Shila. Matasu. Jibo. Jidela. Madajan. Tenzin Shinji Maluba. Sonso. Tehedera Pumo Madabala. Susun Zimba. Tuba Nayula. Truyang. Ngabi Zedala. Tsamayimbe. Neba Mebe. Shinji Maluba. Majuba Sheshala. Obi Sheba Nane. Nayula Trushin. Maju Cha. Yenya Mebe. Majuwa She Mejawo. Washi Na. Nayula Truban Dayang. Jidenbi Ngor Nawatan. Jesu Timbi Yume Gune. Yuna Mebi Gune. Zunyela Suba Nayo Washi Nam. Lubi Kundu Yinla. Tele Jembe Washi Neme Na. Yanda Kundu Yino. Pomo Madabala Subin Zimbi. Zetanji Yune. Tanyedo Mebangu. Goba Menu Jan. Madabala Subin Zimbi Yune. Tanyedo Yubi Ribi Ga Menu So. Tuan Tamba Rangu Juba. Tasu She. Masiba Jinto. Tenyi So. Madaba So. Masibe. Tekona La Tune. Teji Yuba. Zemba Shinji Maluge. Shinji Lu Maluge. Naye Meba Gune. Zu Madaba Dan. Dudu Dan. Da Yume Ganla. Juna, Tamala, Sheba Sonso, Kedu Ngobunala Nagi, Ngobunala Jundubi Maribi, Zedan, Sanjeba Tanyabi, Sheba Namuguba, Nimangite, Jubale, Tamoraji de Kundude, Tegan Juma, Daba Nadane, Kundude, Tuba Desonde, Shezudala Suba, Zudala Suba, Mariba, Onke Kunduji, Daba Jubi, Kunduji, Daba Juba, Sumbi Sheru Shena, Jumete, Zudasu,
Chishina the kana yapudu then trua dan lenja.
Whatever.
Okay, gangisina the le labu the kana dene the chua dan lenja the becha yure. Okay. Ngeha the ngatsu kabiare hakogudu this drupja is some chi. Okay. Thus, there are things that have been known to the world from beginningless time and yet do not exist even conventionally inasmuch as reason contradicts them. As examples, one can cite the essence that ignorance superimpose on things, the essentially existent I, mine, conceived by the reifying view of the perishing aggregates, or the object of the conception that yesterday's mountain is today's mountain. Therefore, it is not the case that Madhyamakas conventionally accept everything that is known to the world. Some argue that in terms of conventional existence, forms, sounds, and so forth are not equivalent to the constructs of non-Buddhist philosophers for the reason that the former are known to all the world, whereas the latter are known only to the advocates of the philosophical tenets. Those who hold this position have failed to make careful distinctions, otherwise they would see the many unwanted implications of their argument, such as, in the conventional terms, forms and such could not be like illusions, rather at the conventional level they would have to exist essentially. Also, Chandrakirti's commentary on 60 stanzas of reasoning says, the inaccurate are those who apprehend that things in cyclic existence only as blissful and so forth, because even conventionalities, these things that do not have this nature. The accurate are those that apprehend these things as suffering and so forth, because these things have such a nature conventionally. He explains, so the nature of suffering, but not an intrinsic nature. It's just saying that there conventionally is suffering, there conventionally is happiness to have, but there isn't an intrinsic bliss or an intrinsic non-dependent bliss or happiness or suffering, for that matter. He explains that although the permanence and so forth of the things of cyclic existence is common knowledge in the world, such conceptions are inaccurate, even conventionally. Also, even though their impermanence and so forth are not known to the world, such conceptions are inaccurate. Thus, a conceptual consciousness which apprehends the aggregates as impermanent and so forth is mistaken with regard to its appearing object, but we call it accurate or non-mistaken insofar as what it discerns is not contradicted by valid cognition. Sensory consciousnesses are mistaken with regard to their appearing objects, and we do not call them non-mistaken since they have no other factor that is non-mistaken. All sensory consciousnesses are alike in being mistaken with regard to what appears to them. However, sensory consciousnesses, such as those to which a reflection appears, are incorrect conventional consciousnesses. Other unimpaired sensory consciousnesses are correct conventional consciousnesses. This is based on whether there is an object compatible with what appears to the worldly perspective of the sensory consciousness. Just as a translator's note, this is just saying that there are things that conventionally exist, and there are things that are not conventional existence. Like there isn't an actual moon reflected, the moon in the water, it's a reflection. There's the moon in the sky, but the moon in the water is a reflection. There's not a moon there. So it's conventionally incorrect to think that there's a moon there. But it's conventionally incorrect to believe that intrinsically anything exists. So that's what it's saying there, is that thus a conceptual consciousness which apprehends the aggregates as impermanent and so forth. So when sensory consciousness apprehends objects, it only apprehends their gross level, sees them as a whole part, doesn't understand that they are intrinsically not what is being apprehended. So that's what it's saying. It's incorrect in terms of its it's not apprehending the ultimate nature. It's incorrect in terms of its gross apprehension, because it doesn't know that that's not a car intrinsically, but it apprehends it as such, the eye, and without having that analysis, the eye consciousness and the ear, and he hears a sound and thinks it's just this one thing coming in. There's no analysis that the ear does. So that's why it's mistaken in terms of its ultimate nature, because it doesn't apprehend its ultimate nature. It apprehends what it looks like, what it appears as, and it's an illusion. It appears incorrectly. So just want to go. Where did I stop off? I'm sorry. Since objects, yeah. Since the objects conceived by conceptual consciousnesses that apprehend the aggregates as permanent and so forth do not exist conventionally, reason can refute them. However, the referent objects of the conceptions of the aggregates as impermanent, etc., do exist conventionally. Hence, reason can refute them. There is no ultimate or essential permanence and so forth. Likewise, there is no ultimate or essential impermanence and so forth. Therefore, the conceptions of those 8 as existing in reality are identical in their degree of accuracy. Thinking of this, the Buddha said in the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras that you are meditating on signs of true existence, whether you meditate upon forms as impermanent, permanent or impermanent, as blissful or painful, as having self or not having self. Then Quam. Ignorance superimposes intrinsic nature on things. For you to use reason to overcome its perspective, yet not to refute conventional objects, this is a contradiction. Because Chandrakirti's commentary on the Middle Way says, the sage said that because ignorance obscures the nature of phenomena, it's a concealer, the gunsop. That's the Tibetan, gunsop is the Tibetan word for what we say conventional truth, gunsop demba. So that's the word they're just showing you. The sage said that because ignorance obscures the nature of phenomena is a concealer. The fabrication that it perceives as true are called truths for a concealer, or conventional truth, or concealer truth. We went over that. It's just a way that they can, and also another way that some of the scholars believe that conventional truth should be, the lexicon should be concealer truth, because it hides the intended, its actual nature, its true nature. Thus, Chandrakirti says that forms, sounds, and so forth are posited as conventional truths, though through the force of ignorance. Okay, question and answer, shorter today, and then we'll get started with this again next time. Hey, happy Mother's Day to everyone in the room, because all sentient beings are our mothers. So, thanks everybody. Good job. Maybe you did a better job last time.
Good morning. Thank you for Jeff, and thank you, Rinpoche. I have a question regarding when you were speaking of the greatest degree of positive or negative, and the impact that you're creating. Is that for the individual or for all of that individual's, like what they interact with?
No, it's just speaking of the individual's actions. The
Okay.
worst action they've done, the medium worst, and the smallest worst.
Okay.
The best action they've done.
So
Just their action only.
So it's their action, and it creates the hell realm for only themselves.
Yes.
And for okay. Thank you.
The ngatsu le me jenda nyawa drogudu nyomare ngatsu. Nyamdu yomare. Le nyamdu yomare.
So, when you think about our individual mind stream that's existed since beginning of this time, and the Buddha, they have a uniqueness in that it's not cosmic consciousness, it's not everyone's, we're unique in our stream. How can that be not somehow considered an essential existence because it's unique? It's not just one. We have, the Buddha has his own uniqueness. So I get confused about how that can be completely considered dependently originated in going forward for the Buddha, excuse me, and it not be essential because it's unique. So unique to me sounds like somehow it's essential.
But unique is dependently, you know what I mean? It's essential would mean that it somehow didn't dependently originate at all. Somehow. So no matter what, even if there is this continuing consciousness, and it's not our continuing consciousness, because as soon as you say our, you think Jeff's.
No, but unique.
It's unique in
It's
that
separate.
it is its own continuum,
Yep.
but that continuum is always dependent. There's never...
But it's unique. It's separate.
It could be unique. I have a different face than everyone else in here, but it's still empty.
Yeah, but you're saying from beginningless
But it's
time.
only unique because it's the certain karmas that came together created that. It's always dependently originating, no matter what. It can be unique and not have any essential nature. It's unique. Everything is unique because it all has different causes and conditions, all has a different collections coming together. So uniqueness, or having its own identity because it came together a different way than another thing came together, doesn't assert that it's intrinsically existent. It just asserts that it's named something different because different collections came together to create it than the other thing.
But then the Buddha's mind stream is a conventional existence. So that mind stream of never coming back into conventional, like...
Because there's no causes and conditions within it to have to deal with. It's not never coming back to conventional. The Buddha did
Is that just a conventional
simultaneously.
designation? Is the Buddha a conventional designation then?
The Buddha is, what do you mean? The Buddha itself, yes, is conventionally not intrinsically existent. The Buddha is just a collection that comes together that's designated as Buddha, just like everything. Rinpoche kontriwa de ngatsu the sheba susu sheba ngatsu sheba nyamdu yomare den sun sang kongit sampa ngatsu sheba ranshin ronga drupa gangin serna nga sheba dan cheran sheba kakare den sun san jewa toma mepa this sheba chipa gangin sen jewa toma mepa the tanda sheba the ngami sheba jewa toma mepa this sheba the rik chipa and kongi sampa ngatsu sheba dan susu sheba den sun sang the ngatsu sheba the demba madrup the dendel yomare kongi sampa dendel yin
And it is.
yin ron de drupa
Jula division.
Kongi Tsampa the Rangwang, Gangin Sena the. So Rinpoche is saying, but it is dependent because it requires causes. So it doesn't have intrinsic existence because it has causes. It dependently originates. That's all that emptiness is negating. It's independence. That it has some sort of independence that isn't caused by collection.
Then how can it be beginningless? It has to have had a beginning then. The cause came about from those dependent conditions.
From a previous cause. From a previous cause, from a previous cause, from a previous cause.
But it's unique. You're saying there's a unique
But
mind
everything's
stream.
unique. This
No,
water
it's-
bottle and the different
No,
companies'
that's a
water
conventional.
bottle.
That's a conventional.
So is everything you're talking about right now. You're talking about a consciousness, that's conventional. You're talking about Buddha's consciousness, that's conventional. The Buddha's consciousness being empty, that's ultimate. Our beginningless consciousness is dependent. Why? Because it came from a previous moment's consciousness. Because there's a consciousness abiding that has north, south, east, and west, if you will, that's in a person. There's a north, south, and east and west of wherever that consciousness is abiding. So there's northern part of it, the southern. No matter what, you can always divide it and come up with something that's a collection that you're then naming. You'll never find this intrinsic nature. So all it is saying is that consciousness that's beginningless, that is unique because it has different collection than my neighbor's consciousness. It's unique, but it's only unique because it dependently originates. It can only be unique because it dependently originates. It would all have to be the same if it wasn't empty. It would all have to be one consciousness if it wasn't empty. The reason that it can be unique is because it's empty. That's why it can be unique. Because it has some sort of different ingredients that came together to make it different than my neighbor's consciousness. So its uniqueness is because it's empty. It's possible for it to be unique because it's empty. Because of dependent origination. Because like one cause different makes this a generic water bottle. A minute ago, this was a name brand water bottle, and now it's not. This cause put onto here now makes it a name brand water bottle. But there's no intrinsic name brand water bottle here because I can do this. That's it. The Dendel Geshe. Does that make sense?
No. I understand the concept, but just that separateness to me.
Yeah, I think that when you think of
fosters a
something,
uniqueness.
I think that it's just more English words, though, like intrinsic nature, unique. Something can be unique and not have intrinsic nature. Its uniqueness means it doesn't have intrinsic nature because it had to have some different part to make it unique. It couldn't be unique without it being empty. I mean, it's like almost it's proof that it's empty. The fact that you and I don't look the same proves that we're empty because we have to have had a different collection of causes and conditions that came together that made this experience, or we'd look identical. We would know the same stuff. But I'm unique. I don't look like you. You know what I mean? What I know is different than what you know because all the parts that came together are different than the parts that came together for you.
Yeah, I guess it's easier to fathom if I think, incorrectly, I'm thinking of it like a wave coming out of the ocean, having its uniqueness and coming back into the ocean, as
Right.
opposed to that wave having always been there and just coming up as form at different points in time.
Yes. Yeah. Just a series of, Buddha said, because there is this, there's that. That was like his most basic teaching on dependent origination. Because there's this, there's that. Because there's this unique collection, there's Jeff. Because there's this unique collection, you know what I mean? So that's, but I know when you look at the English word, intrinsic nature, well, of course, like that, a car has to have that because it's unique. That car isn't a Ferrari, it's a Chevy. So it has to have Cheviness. And that's actually that view that is like the second highest view. It's the Middle Way Autonomy School that says that, okay, I get that it has to be named, but there's some ness in there. There has to be some uniqueness. There's something that makes it a Ferrari and not a Chevy. That is in the view right below the Prasangika. Anyone else? If I said, does anybody want to pull one of those blue cots and take a nap? I think we'd have a whole bunch of hands. If I could stop time and stop all of your places you have to go for Mother's Day.
And in a non-dual view, from like a Buddha's view, they wouldn't even think in that way.
The Buddha simultaneously
sees. So they would even the mind stream, individual mind stream. A Buddha would see things.
The Buddha's individual mind stream is unique, so it would see things differently than us. Why is it unique? Because it doesn't have obstructions to omniscience or afflictive obstructions. So it doesn't have those parts, so it makes it unique to know simultaneously the nature of reality and the conventional nature. So the Buddha, when the Buddha sees a form, his eye consciousness or her eye consciousness isn't mistaken. It doesn't see it only as its conventional, intact, one singular thing. It's simultaneous. Buddha simultaneously sees it empty and it's conventional somehow. I don't know how. I'm not there. But yeah, absolutely. Everybody's experience of the world depends on their own unique collections. So everybody's experience of the in this room right now is different because of the unique collections and imprints that are guiding the experience that we're having. Some of us may be completely moved today and it might change our lives. Some of us might never want to come back again. Some of us just another day just went by and didn't really get much from it because we're thinking of other stuff. But that experience that each of us had that was unique was because of the unique collections that we have. And they're not unique in that they're special, they're just different because we did different things, and they're maybe in a different order of fruition in terms of their degrees within our continuums and degrees of connectivity too. Like, you might have something that's very, very strong that you would think would throw one karmically into something very terrible, and there might be a weaker karma that would give rise to something wonderful. But if the conditions are appropriate to link with the weaker karma, then you'd still experience the wonderful, but it doesn't mean that the terrible is not in the bank. So it's like these things are all just occurring based on so much interdependence, our experiences. It's a give and take experience. We're experiencing from what we're experiencing. So when we experience something and react, we're creating conditions for other karmas to ripen. So they say, all right, concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. Thank you everyone again. Appreciate it. Tu Chenmo Rinpoche. The Charan Detsu, the Shego, or the okay. I asked if he had anything else he wanted to say. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of all teachings and beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Losang to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well. With whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the three times, I also dedicate roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In the pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, source of all powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Yatso, stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wanda, upholder of scriptural and realization doctrines, the spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts, exceptional wisdom. Tu Rinpoche, Guzi Shapi Denrlang, Lamrim Chenmo Kanga